Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Good friend of the program, Colton Underwood, got married over the weekend. Well, I guess he's not a good friend of the program, but he's a notable alumni of the Bachelor world. We're going to discuss this. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I've got a lot of stand-up show updates. I'll be in Nashville. I've got shows coming up in Seattle. I've got a show coming up possibly in Arizona, working on that in the books. And, of course, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, I believe, in New York City. All right, so come to shows, hang out with us. Lots to get into there. Every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast, I surprised my wife with a quick weekend getaway on a cruise. And she doesn't like motion sickness, or I guess who does, but she doesn't like motion, specifically on a boat. So I will be discussing that on the Patreon, how it went. Did it go well? And also, if you stick around to the end of this video, I will show you the first moments of, oh, that's the wrong clip right there. It's all right. We just got back from the boat. Give me a second. I will show you guys the moments of our very nice suite that we got on Royal Caribbean. I mean, it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I'll give you a tour of that on Patreon in a little bit at the end of this video, so just stick around. How's that for some promo for you? Okay, old Colton Underwood marries Jordan C. Brown in Napa Valley. You know, you think, boy, I don't think I've aged that well, but when you look at Jordan C. Brown, I mean, this guy's a silver fox. We're the same age, you know what I mean? He looks like my daddy, but now he's Colton's daddy. I've never been more sure of something he said, and we're glad he's finally sure of something because he certainly wasn't on The Bachelor. So we're going to cover this story, but look, some people pick up my channel and they're new here or they don't understand. This story has been one we've covered from the beginning of time, really. If you look here, one of my first videos I made several years ago, Bookshelf Dave, as he was called, here a couple pounds ago too, I made this story of Bachelor Colton Underwood and the insane text messages that were revealed as he filed for a, as his ex, Cassie Randolph, had to file for a TRO there, which is a temporary order of restraining. And these text messages were wild, and they were harassing, and he faked a stalker so that he could follow her, and he put a tracking device on her car, and all these things. And then shortly afterwards, after he had some sort of settlement with her and they decided not to talk about it, he came out as gay. And not only that, he got a Netflix series out of it. So he pitched a Netflix series, he pitched a televised wedding. He doesn't really know much that doesn't involve the camera in the world of sort of monetizing your life. But people have argued that in monetizing his life, he's also exploiting the fact that he was a very rotten human in his relationship. Now, you could say hurt people in the world he grew up in that was a closeted gay athlete, all of these circumstances that could lead to where he is today. In the very end, we're just happy for him, but I have to make a note at the bottom of this message here that we have to say also, Cassie Randolph is the victim of a lot of, terrible moments there as their relationship ended, and he overcame, I guess, the closeted experience, and we're happy for him. But also, I still don't quite believe he says he was joined Grindr in 2016, years before he was on The Bachelor. So clearly, did he lie to all of us, or was he just lying to himself? That's something we will never know. But a lot of people were upset that he was able to monetize his coming out when so many people never were able to. Oh, look at that. They've actually, this is what I love about YouTube. They've made chapters here of this initial video. I mean, it was a wild one. I mean, this put our channel on the map. 302,000 views here. All the court documents in the wild text messages. I mean, all I did was read it for you guys. It was absolutely insane. I have to say all that because we can be happy for him, but we can't, glaze over what got him to this point. Bachelor alum and political strategist got married during a 3-day wedding celebration that included a performance by Stanford University's artistic swimmers and a disco-themed pool party. So these are essentially state-run articles, People's exclusive. I don't know who pays who. I don't know if People's paying Colton or if Colton's paying People, but either way, I've always said this and I'll say it again. If you're going to get married, monetize it, help cover the bills. Colton Underwood is married. The Bachelor alum and coming out Colton star, 31, wed Jordan C. Brown, 38, in front of 200 guests in a romantic ceremony at the Carneros Resort and Spa in Napa Valley. The 3-day affair planned by Ashley Smith Vince. Okay, so let's go over how many people how many sort of influencer names we're going to drop here. So we've got the resort right there. Then we've got Ashley Smith Events kicked off with a family dinner and welcome party on Friday night before a full day of wedding festivities began Saturday morning. The day of our ceremony, we have a disco-themed pool party, Underwood told People in an exclusive interview ahead of the couple's big day. It's going to be a fun wedding, I'll say that. That's all you'll say, I guess. For their nuptials, the couple wore custom Tom Ford suits. Underwood went with a deep green while his political strategist husband chose blue, both as a nod to the natural setting of their I-do's and his political affiliation. It's a red versus blue wedding. We wanted we wanted trees around and sunshine. It was really important for us to get married outside. Okay, one thing that's really important for both of us is that we've created this. We're calling it our loving walk, explains Colton, who appeared on The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise and The Bachelor, before revealing in a Good Morning America interview that he is gay. So, of course, no mention of all the other aspects of the controversies that existed. He said it's inspired from a coffee table book that I was gifted after I came out called Loving, and it's images of men in love throughout history. We blew them up and put them on canvases and set them around the resort. Next to them will be love letters from queer people in the 18th and 19th century that were forbidden or they had to send in secret. Oh, that's very sweet. It's really cool. It helps us to pay tribute to the people who paved the way for all same-sex couples who can now get married. The pair walked hand in hand down the aisle and exchanged personal vows and rings before celebrating with friends and family at the reception. We wanted to break some of the traditional norms of what a ceremony and a wedding look like, and for the entire weekend, we recognize that a lot of people attending, both of our families and some of our friends, will be their first queer wedding. We really wanted to make it special. So there they are, smooching. As a fun surprise, the couple arranged for, they had swimmers, very nice. The reception, they had salads, vegetables, steak. How interesting could the article get? And afterward, the toilet paper was 2-ply. Could you imagine? They've actually had an just one thing after another. Lots of spicy margaritas, and they had a 21 seeds tequila cocktail. All right, so that's 5 influencer notes here. They're making a fortune, which included 2 cucumber and jalapeno infused drinks. Hey, honey, did we have a spicy margarita at ours? We had a spicy we had a mango margarita and a spicy. Shout out to Christian at our wedding planner. I'll do branding too, folks. Following emotional toast to newlyweds who gifted their guests Privé Revaux sunglasses cut into mini wedding cakes while other desserts. So we're at 6. I'm using 2 hands. The couple shared their first dance together to The Good Ones by Gabby Barret. I'm not going to say. Does that count? Yeah, that counts. They shut. That's 7. Okay, so there it is. Falling in love with Brown came easy. I've never been more sure about something. He has the biggest heart, and he's such a good friend to all of the people in his life. The pair first met at a party in LA. Love the family that we've created, having our 2 dogs in our home and this wedding. We've really created a life that feels so compatible and in sync. So there they are. What do we get? 7 or 8? 7 or 8. And then, of course, the obligatory Instagram post. Congrats, the Brown Underwoods. There they are, May 13th, 2023. Not too many notes. Okay, you got some notes there from Bachelor Nation. Lauren Zima, such an amazing wedding. All right, so it looks like does that mean Chris Harrison was there? We know Olivia Wilde was there. She wore a white wedding dress. Can you believe we're covering this on a Monday? This is barrel scraping. What Olivia Wilde wore to Colton Underwood's wedding. Did I never need to know this? Yes. Wore a wedding dress to a wedding just so I could make a joke about it in my toast. What do you mean? Did she toast it? She posted that on Instagram there. Are you allowed to wear white if it's not your wedding? I mean, the 39-year-old Wilde revealed she was in attendance by sharing a pair of photos from the celebration. Okay, so there she is wearing a white dress. We wanted to break some of the traditional norms. Okay, we already got that. So I think that's all we have for the wedding. I mean, I don't really care too much to say anything else. Look, I mean, I don't know. Some people, they'll criticize me and say, Dave, why are you bringing up all this old news? And then if you don't do it, people go, are you just going to glaze over the fact that what led to this was such a rotten experience? No, I personally believe Colton possibly lied about having COVID when he broke up with Cassie and stayed at her place and said he had COVID. I don't even know if I believe. I mean, how could you believe any of the stories? He says that he was extorted while at a gay massage parlor. Who would extort you? I don't know. None of it adds up to me. I'm happy for him. Go on in peace. Kiss the groom. Here's my first. Here's a clip of me starting my cruise tour for you. The full thing's going to be on Patreon here. Say hello.
Hello.
So I've got it on selfie stick mode. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the outside, and then we're going to take you guys up to the deck. So this is actually while we're still, no, where was this? This was in Mexico. So the cruise leaves from Long Beach, which is Los Angeles. I didn't tell Tasha till about 1 hour before we had to be on the cruise. I had made her pack her bags and then I surprised her. I'll share that surprise video with the Patreon. I didn't know if she'd be happy or scared or what, just because, you know, she was a little worried about being on a boat. But either way, you can go see the full video right here.
I want to walk by the other hot tubs and see how full they are.
Okay. So let's do a tour. So we did the whole tour there. We showed you the deck. And hey, look, as far as cruises go, it's actually a pretty good experience. Would I recommend it? I think I would. If you live in, here's the deal, right? If you don't live near a cruise port, you got to fly to the cruise. It becomes way more expensive. But if you live near a place that has cruises, it can be a fun little getaway. I don't know. I'll share more of that content, all 11 minutes of it. By the way, but this day it was absolutely freezing. Look at us.
Let's roll.
We were so cold, but we ended up having a blast. It warmed up. The sun came out. And yeah, it was a good little weekend. All right, folks. Well, I had a good weekend. Colton Underwood had a good weekend. Did you? Leave a comment. Let me know how it went. Lots of shows coming up. As I said before, make sure to join Instagram and follow me so you can stay up to date on all of the shows we've got going on. I'll see you this afternoon for Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast.